where am I at? Linebackers. So I think this is one. Let me switch something. So the linebacker room. This is one that has been a kind of a thorn in the side there in the primary. And again, it is one that we, when we pull up our recruiting, Rodney Colton Jr., he'll be here, 4-star recruit, next season. But one that I think they revamped well. Let's go over Colorado base defense. Again, this is just the base 4-2-5 defense under Rob Livingston. Linebackers in this kind of setting need to be multifunctional, cover some slot, tight ends, fill gaps, rush the passer occasionally. Now they were solid last year. Could it have been better? Yes. There were some injuries that took place at the end of the year. There were right. You watched that game against Kansas at the end of the year that took the wind out of the sail. Felt like for me anyway, me and my family, my wife and I, it kind of took the wind out of the sail. I think I was mad at that. So alumni here of Kansas, I was really mad at them probably up until like a month ago at this point. So it was still that one hurt the most this season. But you watch that game, the second level. They were getting to the second level easy, and then there's a lot of missed tackles. And again, look at the linebacking room. That can't happen this year. If they are one to get, compete for that Big 12 title, culture change, those kind of things, and what's needed on from the linebackers there at CU. Against Kansas State, gave up 185 rushing yards. Again, wife and I were at that one. That one hurt. Right, the play out of the back. Yeah, DJ Giddens leak out. Shiloh was busted up on him. You're in your cover zero look. That was rough. That was really, really rough. That game hurt too. So I guess the two Kansas schools this past year were tough. On me as a fan, I should say. So statistical. Yeah. Well, question was here about Martavius French. We're going to talk about him. So one I'm excited for. Statistical context. Colorado allowed opponents to rush for substantial yardage and key matchup. Again, placing the team near the bottom in Big 12 rushing defense metrics. Again, was not the best, but again, the Big 12 was loaded with tons of running backs last year. And again, it's flipped this year, right? When you look at the Heisman hopefuls, it's now all shifted towards, like earlier in the chat mentioned, Sam Levitt. Again, you have Caden Salter. You have from Utah, I can't think of his name, coming from New Mexico, from University of New Mexico there in Albuquerque. It's going to be a gauntlet, I think, this year with the quarterback. So again, but that also goes to coverage skills, right? So leadership and depth challenges. So veterans like Levante Bentley. So he was good. He would light somebody up. But again, that some of these sometimes injured, sometimes struggled with his reads or whatever it may be. And then one of the biggest losses of the offseason was Nakai Green Walker. Nakai Hill Green. So he was one of the biggest losses this season, this offseason. Transferred as a grad transfer to Alabama. He was second team All Big 12. His leadership, the way he plays the game. He was one of the guys that against North Dakota State didn't get a ton of burn, but then he kept going out there. And you were just like, who is this dude? Who is 41? Kept going out there, lighting somebody up, doing everything right. That is going to be a massive, massive loss this year. It will be felt. But again, what's kind of interesting is I was not really Devin Dampier, Utah, quarterback from New Mexico, can run, has some legs on him, so one to watch with Kyle Whittingham. We'll talk about that when we get in the season preview. But yeah, Nakai Hill Green. Why am I 41? He was on the team, really, really good. But he's going to be the ones that one of the defensive leaders that is gone. I really didn't think though that he had. I really didn't think he had another year left. So I thought he was gone anyway at the end of last year. And then when he announced that he was entering the portal and then going as a grad transfer to Alabama, I was like, oh, okay, well. Best of luck to him. And again, I just love the way he plays. Going to be looking for him when Alabama plays. So just to want to keep an eye on. The backup depth was minimal. some of the in-game communication suffered, blown assignments in zone schemes or whatever it may be. It wasn't their strongest performing group last year, but again, they had two really really good players, and as you can see, we get into the departures. It's basically been flipped over. Um, no real players with playing experience are coming back that was on the team last year. So again, like we talked about, Nikhai Hill-Green gone, 82 tackles last year, 11 and a half tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 picks, and again he was second team All Big 12. Transferred again, like we talked about, to Alabama. Again, heart of the defense last year, top tackler, communicator, and essentially the guy that kept run fits clean. His exit again leaves a massive hole, right? That you don't replace him, reload at that position. So Levante Bentley, so we'll see. Eligibility exhausted, so just no more eligibility left for him. Physical run defender, was a short-term, grad transfer year there. Again, his departure adds to the leadership gap there here in Colorado. Jeremiah Brown entered the transfer portal after 2024. So this is some depth and special teams experience now gone. A couple of the other losses, Jalen Wester and John Chaney Jr., both gone. And then there was one more that was lost. He's just no longer on the roster. What UTEP transfer in the chat? What UTEP transfer are we talking here? So if you could just put that in there, that'd be great. So what it means for 2025. So Colorado, they entered the season with 0 returning starters in the linebacker room. Rob Livingston and Coach Hart rebuilt this position almost entirely through the portal and incoming freshmen, again, mostly through the portal, though. I mean, let's just be honest, through the portal. Leadership, communication, gap integrity. So I have to develop on the fly during camp that's happening right now. Hard reset for the linebacker room. Coach Prime and Coach Hart have to find their next heartbeat for this defense. And the ones that UTEP, Martavis, that's UTEP, not UTEP. Sorry, that is we're gonna get to him here in a second. I have him up next on my list. But University of Texas San Antonio is Martavis is from. So let's talk about some additions. So rebuilding the room from 2025. So again, after losing your, Nikhai Hill-Green, Levante Bentley, so they had to reload the entire linebacker room for 2025.